Well, what is going on, YouTube? Today I want to take you guys on my game room tour, show you what I got going on for my game room. But first, let me tell you a little bit about what I did when I was younger. You know, I joined the military back in 2000, and I retired in February this year. So, giving me opportunities to start up a YouTube channel and start in on something I really wanted to do for quite a long time. So without further ado, let me get started here. So first, show you the wall of action figures. This is just one wall, but I was a huge Dragon Ball Z fan back in the day, and you know, had all the DVDs and all the VHS tapes and stuff, and just real big fan of it, and ended up getting a huge amount of figurines for it. But obviously my favorite one is Goku by far. But as you can see, it's pretty big. I got quite a lot going on through here. Some of these Japanese ones. A lot of these I just picked up either through mail order, or I'd get them, you know, at Walmart or something like that. But I really had a huge thing for Dragon Ball Z. Loved it so much. Still like it today, but not as big a fan as I used to be. A lot of these figurines are just super old. Got them a long time ago. So then we have you know, I not just Dragon Ball Z, or yeah, not just Dragon Ball Z, but I'm also a huge Final Fantasy fan. So as you can see, you get Sephiroth there. Probably one of my favorite ones I have in my collection. All these Final Fantasy VIII. It's actually a funny story. I bought a whole box of these and put them on consignment at a place called Seven Towers in my hometown. This back in the day is a like a card shop, you know, non-sports cards like Magic and comic books, things like that. So bought an entire box of these from the distributor, kept a set, and then sold the rest on consignment at the store. So that was pretty cool. Had a good friend there that helped me out with that. I'm gonna go here through a few of the Amiibos, just different ones that I picked up along the way and really like. You know, the probably the one that I like the most is my son bro right there from Dark Souls, Solaire. He's awesome. And then you know, just ones I picked up at the store here and there. They're really like, you know, I'm a huge Zelda fan too, so probably one of my favorites there. But then we go over to My Hero Academia, one of my favorite animes also. Two of my favorite characters, All Might and Midoriya. All Might's my favorite by far, but yeah. And just going on, you can see this is my Master Sergeant line number when I put on Senior NCO. Something I found is a huge accomplishment. I really studied hard for that test to get it, so one of my favorite things in here. And then on up through here, get the Star Wars. Now I used to have a large amount of these Star Wars characters back when I was, I don't know, probably 14, 15 years old. If you remember when they re-released the special edition, that's when I got really big into it again. But I picked these up, just the ones that I enjoyed. That I really liked a lot. So, you know, Darth Maul, he's one of my favorites. And Obi-Wan Kenobi, Darth Vader, you know, you gotta have those. You know, that fight off of the fourth movie, it's the best. It's just the best. But going on through here now, that turtle up there is like only one Ninja Turtle I have, but as far as in the box here, but he's kind of important if you look. I'll show you real quick. So I never have really looked into it much, but here, I'll show you. So as you can see, this is Metalhead, right? Metalhead. So you turn the box over and you look at let's see if I can get a light here. But if you look at Michelangelo, see anything wrong there? Raphael, Michelangelo. So he's yeah, so it's a misprint. I have no idea like if it's worth anything or anything, but I just picked this up at the store for my daughter for a gift one day. I saw this on the back and I bought her a different one and kept this one because it's just, wow, a misprint. So yeah, so that's the only turtle that I got in here, but Going on through, we got Lion-O from the Thundercats. Now this Lion-O here was the one that was released with the new series. I don't know if anybody's watched that, but it was pretty good. I got a few episodes of it, but I really enjoyed the older one because it was kind of around when I was a kid and stuff. So that's the one I really get into. And then all these Dragon Ball Z guys here were all picked up in Japan when I was there on one of my assignments. So traditional Japanese kanji and all that kind of stuff there, and picked it up like at Toys R Us or something like that. And then you got the movie monsters from Todd McFarlane. These guys here, I like these guys because they're kind of unique, and Michael Myers is probably one of my favorite villains, so I had to get him. I was looking for Jason, I never could find him though. Then going on through here, we got some of these statues. And a few of the GFs from Final Fantasy VIII, Odin, Cerebus, and then we got Ifrit and Siren. I never did get all of those, but I've seen behind before in a store somewhere, a comic store somewhere, but never picked it up. And then we got Final Fantasy VII. You guys know the remake was awesome, pretty awesome game. But Cloud, Vincent, Sephiroth, and Red 13. Moving on, we got Spawn. Now Spawn was I think probably the original ones I got into with action figures was Spawn. I had a bunch of those when I was a kid and really big into the comic. In fact, I'm still big into the comic. I've got most of the run, 1 through, I think it's up past the 320s now probably. But Spawn is going to blow up soon, I think, because they got that new movie coming out soon, and then if you guys watch the animated series, it was really something. So, and some more DBZ. Oh, this Spawn here is probably one of my favorite looking ones. Just look at that, it's awesome. And then some of these movie guys up here, Broly. And then Eve from Wall-E. Yeah, she's cool. Little thing doesn't work anymore out of batteries, but still cool. It's the same. Big wall scroll. That's pretty much it for the figurines. I've got a few more, but they're I can't fit them in here. I got no room. All my room is like taken up at this point. But so back over here we got game guides. Yeah, these guys here, these big hardcover ones, probably my favorites because they're they're the collector's editions that come with the game. Usually you can go to GameStop or something, and you get like a discount if you pre-order the game and the manual. So, but you can see, huge Final Fantasy fan. Final Fantasy 11 online. This one's like kind of jacked up because I've had it for, gosh, I don't know, probably 17 years, and it's just one of my kids got into it before when they were babies and just tore it up. But still there, hanging in there. So, got my PC games up here. Just Game Pro magazines from, or not Game Pro, excuse me, GameStop, Game Informer magazines from when I had that subscription. And then, of course, Pat, the NES Punk, his book. It's got like all the Nintendo games in it. It's awesome. If you're interest of mine, I really like this series, Catching Fire, or Hunger Games rather. Pretty good books there. As we go over here, so starting with the video games, you got PlayStation 1 games. Now a lot of these I just picked up over the years and just had from before I joined the military and just came on in and just picked up more, but this is where it all started, man. I really fell in love with gaming when I had this thing. I think the first game I picked up that I really enjoyed a lot was Final Fantasy VII. I played the heck out of that game, and then just went on from there. PlayStation 1, man, classic, right? And then a few more games A lot of people do that. They write their name on it. It's so hard to clean that off. Those are actually pretty cool games I got for a deal not so long ago. I just haven't been able to file them in the right order, but yeah. As you can see, these Super Nintendo games, I'm sure you've heard before, like, they just, in order for you to really see them, you have to see what it is, you have to have them set like on the side like this, right? Because you can't tell what they are from setting them in there like that, you know? So if you wanted to have them all out, you have to have it like this, but it takes up so much space, so I put them in like this. But I have them in alphabetical order, so I kind of know where they all are. Xbox, a few good ones there. You know, one that I never did pick up was the, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called right off. The one Star Wars game. I never did pick that one up. Knights of the Old Republic, that's what it was. I never did get that for Xbox. And now I'm pretty sure it's like a big time collector's deal, so it's hard to get it on the cheap at least. So, but yeah, I mean, Xbox free, I don't think it really was. It's not really one of my favorite consoles, but I still have a few games on there that I like okay. And then I got my 3DS. A hard case for, hang on just a minute, I'm trying to get to it here. There it is. Okay. Yeah, so here's a hard case for it, right? But this other one that I have here is it goes around it, right? This is the 3DS XL. So it kind of goes around it and then makes like a little grip to it, so like that, so it makes it easier to play the game and stuff. So, and then here's there we go. Ha, here we go. So just a little wallet games collection. And I put 3DS games in here, also regular DS games, because some of my favorite ones on here, you know, like probably, you know, that one right there is really good. You can still pick this one up on the cheap too, $20. And usually have it in store. This one here, I really couldn't get into. I tried, but it just seemed like it was, you know, doing the same thing constantly over and over and over again. It never really introduced any new combat to it, so I only got so far on this one, but I mean, I guess it's okay, but not along the favorites that I'd call it. Monster Hunter. Now, if you can get these, all of these games are really awesome. They're solid, and they're worth it for real. So if you can pick these up, I recommend it. All these Castlevania games on the DS were great. So were the Zelda games. You know, Spirit Tracks, and then Phantom Hourglass. All these were really awesome. So if you get on the chance to pick those up and play them, I recommend it for sure. Moving on, we got this big beast here. Now this thing I got for I think it was birthday. Yeah, this birthday this year. I don't know if you guys have seen this before, but basically it's just a big controller, right? And then it plugs into your TV, and then it has games preloaded on it, and you just get the games like that, and then you can also get 20, I think there's 20 more games you can get on it later on. And what you do is just go to the website and download some different codes and whatnot, and you can get it that way. And moving on here, we got of course the Virtual Boy, right? This guy here I picked up from a friend of mine when I was stationed at Little Rock Air Force Base. Look at that. Yeah, just a huge failure, you know. Nintendo is probably not their only failure, but one of their huge, like, biggest failures. You know, things just kind of like people look at it and they're just like, wow, that's crazy. And you know, every now and then, whenever I have friends over, let them play it, and they look at it and they're just like, wow, what is this thing? You know, but a few games that I picked up with it was, you know, had you can see that one. It's like virtual fishing, I think it was called there. And then Red Alarm. I know you probably heard of that one before, but it's like a shoot 'em up kind of game. And then Wario Land. Mario Tennis, and Nestor's Funky Bowling. And I have a couple of box ones in here. Tetris. Let's see, I got here Tetris, and then Virtual League Baseball. That one's actually sealed. But, yeah, pretty cool. Now, if you really want to get this thing, just be prepared to use the batteries up, because it takes 4 batteries inside this controller to get it. Actually, I think it's 6. Or you can get yourself one of these AC adapters. You know, go about it that way. All right, moving on. We got some Atari games. Actually, wait a minute. Let's go back this way. Not quite there yet. Down here we got the different controllers for different systems. GameCube, we got N64, and then some games for the Sega Saturn. This was actually given, these Sega Saturn was actually given to me by a good friend, Rodney. And then I got another sealed controller for it in here, aftermarket. And then we got the regular Nintendo with the zapper. This guy here, if you ever want to play your Nintendo on a new age TV, you can get one of these. Now this one's the cheap one. It's not like that other one. I think it's called oh my goodness, I can't think right now. But the one that they had in Japan that they stopped making, where it transmits a RF signal to, or an RGB signal to a HDMI. They stopped making them. So if you want to use that for the older systems, that'll work just fine, and it's only like $15 or something. But if you try to go with any other systems, like I would probably leave it at 64. Anything higher than that, you probably want to try to get you a different step up if you're trying to go HDMI for old systems. But this, it does work. It does do what it advertises that it does. It just isn't the best, but it's okay on the cheap. Same guy I got the Virtual Boy from. I got this Dreamcast from. And then down here, of course, you got the 32X Sega, and then the Sega CD attachment, and then all the cords associated with it. Gosh, look at that mess. And then a few Sega CD games right there. Nothing great, just Cliffhanger, Eye of the Beholder, and I think what is that? A racing game. I can't really see, but nothing too great, you know. Moving on over here to other collections, you got Atari. A few Atari games. Now, I try to get my kids to play this thing, and my oldest daughter, she actually can't stand Space Invaders. It like stresses her out with that noise it makes me play it, so it's kind of funny to watch her play it. And you got 64 games. Same deal. Can't read the labels unless you take them out. Check them out. So, you know, Mario 64. Nope. There we go. That's the best way to take care of games. Just throw them on the floor. Then Sega Genesis. Up to it next there. A Strider. You know, a few other games here. I think this is probably my favorite X-Men game on the old consoles. And then I got a couple of box games. And then this one is Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. It's not sealed, it's just in the box there. And then a few at the there's a Super Nintendo down here, and then Super Nintendo from Japan. Super Famicom games. So you can play these. The reason why I picked these up is so you can play them on a Retron 5, and I'll show it to you in a little bit. And then, of course, the regular Super Nintendo games. You know, we got Castlevania there. And then Chrono Trigger. Let's see what else we got. I want to show you this other one they got. It's really expensive. Probably one of the most expensive Super Nintendo games I own. Get to it here. There we go. Everybody knows what that is, right? Good old Earthbound. Yeah. Expensive ass game right there. And then down to the regular NES games. These ones are actually easier to read and easier to file because you can read all the labels out like this. And I don't have too many. I think I have like 84 different ones. Of course, I got a lot of copies too, like you can see there. And then you got some regular Famicom games. These ones actually play on that Retron 5 also. Transformers. And then of course the best cheat thing ever, Game Genie. I don't have a book for it, so I'll have to look online if I ever want to use it for codes. There's that. And then we're moving on to something a little bit more modern. Xbox One. Different games. And we have the Nintendo right there. That's the top loader. If you're gonna use a Nintendo, use this one. This one doesn't. It usually works okay with games and doesn't cause them not to work like the older one. Older one's okay if you can get a new 72-pin connector. A lot of times those are just worn completely out. You have to replace them. This is the one you should go for if you're going to play Nintendo, in my opinion. And we've got the Switch. I know some people, it's microfiber cloth. Some people are like, microfiber cloth. Well, I kept with it, and mine still doesn't have all the scratches on it like I've seen people have, so. Yes, Switch is a pretty good system. Only thing I don't like is those Joy-Cons. I don't really care much for those because they have that Joy-Con drift. I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but the Joy-Cons will kind of mess up over time. And you can send them in Nintendo, they'll replace them if it's still under warranty, but it's just a hassle. So, in my opinion, if you're going to get yourself anything to play on the Switch, get yourself that. That right there is awesome. So. Then of course we got Wii down here. As you guys, if you guys have been watching my channel, though, you know we've been playing Mario Galaxy 2, Mario Galaxy 1. You know, some fun games there. Wii U. Yeah, this is one also really good for a Wii U. If you don't have one of these, you should definitely get one. Down here, more Wii U games, plus the second Model 2 and Super Nintendo. I can't call it a top loader because the regular Super Nintendo is a top loader, but yeah. And we got Xbox 360, different games, lots of controllers. Some of them work, some of them kind of work. They definitely had their use out of them, that's for sure. And boxed Game Boy Advance, Game Boy games. One of my favorites. If you guys haven't played this, you need to play it. It's really good. And then down here we got PlayStation 3 and no tab. My daughter played this and she was a little, I don't even know where it is anymore, but I still have the games for it. PS3, oh my goodness, awesome. So many good games for that. More PS3. Final Fantasy 13-2 was awesome. Final Fantasy 13 was not. I don't know. I really liked the second one there. I didn't really like the first one. And then down here we got some more PS3. Some more PS3 and some stacked PS4. I haven't filed away yet. Of course, we have the best game this year. Awesome. Definitely need to play this if you haven't. You're missing out. And then moving on to PS4. You know, PS4 setup. Headset, controller, different games. Gotta get yourself one of these so you can have more USB outlets. And then a few more games over here. Kingdom Hearts, awesome series. If you guys haven't played that, definitely check it out. You can get all the games for the most part, I think with the exception of a few, but if you play, what was it, Kingdom Hearts, the story so far, there you go. You should definitely get that if you haven't played Kingdom Hearts. And then, where's... Oh, maybe it's on this side, probably. No. Oh, anyways, here we go. So, moving on. PSP. I don't have a very large PSP collection. PS Vita, same for that one. And then here's the PS Vita, boxed up. I haven't really played it recently. Some more PS4 games. And then there's the PSP. More PS4 games. No, I was going to show you guys something if I could find it. I don't know where it is. Maybe it's on this side. Yeah, I think it's on this side. When I was in Japan, Sekiro released. But when I was about to come back to the States from Japan, I didn't have my copy of Sekiro with me, so I bought this one at a, they're called Hard Offs. This is like a little variety stores that they have in Japan, and you can pick up, games like this. And they, of course, it's all in Japanese, but it works on the PS4. Now DVDs and stuff, they don't work on PS4, different regions and whatnot, but the games do. So when I played Sekiro all the way through, I'm still on the final boss. I still can't beat him, but I played it in Japanese. So I had no idea what I was doing. I just kind of had to guess, but I made it all the way to the Sword Saint Ishin. I guess it's the good ending, but on with a Japanese copy of the game. So very hard to understand what they said, but I managed to get through it okay. And that's actually pretty good on the From Software team, because you can play like a Dark Souls type game and you can understand what they're talking about, even if it's not in English. You can kind of get the gist of what you need to do. Alright, moving on. Got the Atari 2600. Still works. You know, I have the... Just look at this. My goodness. I can't believe how old this thing is. Like, everything was just in this wood grain, this finish. Like, look at that thing. Ugh, gross. And then, of course, my switchers. You know, everything has its own plug, because this TV I have right here only has one input. So all of this is plugged into one input, which is plugged into all of that. So, and that. So, I have a Sega Saturn here, and then 64 there, PS2, GameCube games, and PS2 games, GameCube, Xbox, TV, and then the PS1 hooked up here. Alright, so moving on over to the, this is what I was talking about earlier. This thing is called a Retron 5. Now this thing is pretty cool because it can play a lot of different things for the old consoles, and what it does is it downloads the game as a ROM and plays it as a ROM. So it's, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. Like, it doesn't play off the game as it would when you stick it into a Nintendo. It just downloads the ROM from the cart and puts it on the TV. So if you're trying to play a multi-cart, it won't work on this thing. You have to get a different type of system if you're trying to play like a 1 in 500 multi-cart game. But still, this thing is really awesome and it works really well. The controller sucks, but the system itself works pretty good. So you can play Game Boy games in here, right? This one is for Famicom, right? And then you got NES right here, Super NES, Genesis, and then on the back there's a micro SD card slot. So if you, like I was saying earlier about those Japanese games, if you want to play a Japanese game on here, of course it's going to be in Japanese, right? Well, if you have the micro SD card and you go to the website, you can download a language patch for your game. So instead of paying like, I think Chrono Trigger is something like $100 right now or more, you can go to Japan or buy it off of eBay or something for like $5, and then download a language patch and play Chrono Trigger for real on a Retron 5 for like $5, right? Instead of paying $100 and some for the Super Nintendo cartridge. So pretty cool. Down here is I don't know if you can really see. It's like other miscellaneous controllers and whatnot, and then all my boxes for 3DS games and such. Trusty PS3. And that's it. So one good look around the room, and the giant TV. Obviously, is and this is what I'm playing right now. So far, it's really awesome. It's really long, but it's good just the same. But that's it, man. Oh, this is my daughter did this for me. Pretty cool. This is my game room. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me and joining me on this game room tour. If you have any questions or want to know anything more about anything you saw, just let me know. And have a good one. Thanks again.